Hello everyone, and after a really frantic travel day, the entire Enduro World Series has hot-footed it from Whistler in Canada right here to the east coast of the USA for EWS Burke. Ruaridh, feeling fresh as a daisy?
Maybe not fresh as a daisy, Rick, but excited to be. Thank you very much. Excited to be here. Our first ever EWS in the East Coast.
East Coast, and not only that, back to back, we've got Sugarloaf next week as well. But let's focus on the trails here in Burke. Burke, amazing little town in Vermont, right in the midst of one of the most incredible trail networks with the Kingdom Trails.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of just on the hills behind us, not that you can see them due to the Scotch mist that is currently upon us, but you know, really famous, amazing trail network. I think I heard something like 70 or 80 private landowners have this big agreement that allow all these trails to be open. We're actually on Burke Mountain, which is slightly removed from the Kingdom Trails, but yeah, they're just out there in the distance. But some amazing riding in this part of the world.
You've been here already, of course, earlier in the year for a site visit. What have we got in store for us this week?
So we're on the upper part of the mountain just now, some steep rocky terrain in the kind of forests. Lower mountain's a bit mellower, kind of lower gradient, fast flowy, more dirt, less rock and roots. That'll be more kind of your thing, but this upper mountain part, it's
more your thing?
Yeah, you could say that.
I'm glad that we're comfortable with this relationship, that's good. Right, let's have a look at what the course this week is going to look like. So Saturday's pro stage is 2.7 kilometres of upper J-bar. That's got a drop of just over 450 metres. The second stage will start Sunday off, a quick 2.74 kilometres with a drop of 224 metres. The third stage, 1.6 kilometres. The fourth stage, 1.58 kilometres, and then we get into sort of the real meat of the course. The Queen stage, stage 5, 5.21 kilometres with a vertical drop of 571.5 metres before stage 6, which is a repeat of stage 1, the pro stage.
But look, the sun's coming out for us.
I don't think that's going to make the difference if we're honest, but come on, let's go.
Not for you.
Yeah.
I'll give you a word of warning though.
Yeah.
A few hundred metres down here, just once you're getting out of breath, there's a horrible little climb up to the right, so make sure you're in the right gear.
Oh great, okay. Look at the power of the man. He's away. So he used to try and like instill confidence in me. Now he just comes out with stuff like that.
Now we're into the real stuff. Roots, rocks, really slippy after some rain last few days, but trail crew said it needed it.
Real slick. Just got bobbled by a root on the way into that. Ah, it's a hole.
Really have to pick your braking in the right spots, because if you do it on these rocks you tend to just slide and speed up.
Roots everywhere. Trail properly carpeted in them.
You need to try and get in some little pedal strokes in there. Told you it was full on.
It's chunk, isn't it? It's the definition of chunk, of just setting your front wheel in the holes and going.
Yeah.
Right, Ruaridh, this is what you're telling me is typical Vermont, big, rocky, traction-free stuff.
Yeah, you got a lot of this to go, Rick. But yeah, just typical Vermont, typical northeast, these kind of real nice rolling rock slabs. They can be grippy, they can be slick, it depends how much dirt's been pulled onto them. In between you've got root beds that you've got to try and work your way through, some real kind of black, kind of slimy dirt as well. So not a lot of traction, a lot of things that can catch you out.
Is this a section you think then racers would, this is the sort of thing where you make sure there's a nice, clean, safe line through it? There isn't loads of time to be made here, but there's a load of time to be lost.
Yeah, I mean, as dramatic as this section looks, arguably this is probably a section where racers will be able to take kind of a couple of deep breaths and just relax. We've got this kind of long rock slab. I think there's probably a little gap we could do onto it. And another flat section here. Gotta try and hold momentum.
Never not working on this stuff. What?
Looking at it from here, I'm not quite sure how I managed to do it, but
were you up there?
I rode over that.
Why?
I don't know.
Really nothing in terms of like extremely technical, full-on scary?
Yeah.
but just balancing that lack of traction everywhere.
It's a constant kind of search for momentum, isn't it? Like the roots, the rocks, all those little uphills, you know, up, down, it all tries to like sap that momentum from you. And you have to really work. It's constant, just little pedal strokes, pumping, it's super physical. Wow, go through these.
Woo! Oh, involuntary whoops mean danger.
Back into the woods. And this really tricky, rooty stuff.
Come from the mother of all bike parks, Whistler, to here.
It's like a different sport.
Different sport. It feels like the commitment levels.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily gradient.
No.
It's just commitment. I'm going down there.
Starting to level out now. And it's still loads of roots, loads of rocks.
Jesse Melamed, under huge pressure, it has to be said, took that win in Whistler last week on his home, at his home round. Ruaridh has 2 of them. Here, Sugarloaf next week. Could we see the yellow plate change hands?
It's going to be so hard to link this together. There's going to be mistakes. It's just going to be how big and how many. Vast this section now, quite different to the rest of it. Dirt's maybe just a little bit too slick.
There's a berm!
A lot of fitness to keep momentum. You're just constantly wanting to go faster. As soon as you get up to speed, it's a corner and you just have to slow down and try and get back up to where you were. Into the finish line.
Rory, about as different a course preview as I can remember that actually. Just it definitely rewards commitment, I'll say that. It's not as straightforward as your eyes are telling you.
No, I mean that top section, really techy, awkward, very few pieces of track up there that are smooth and inviting. Then it kind of gets in that middle section, fast and fluid in the woods, really good fun to ride. I think by the time we get to the race, with the weather we've got coming, I think that's going to be absolutely perfect. Then onto the flat sprint, and then this bottom section, just that kind of single track trail, smooth, but lots of flat corners. You kind of find yourself constantly wanting to go faster. It's going to be really physical, really long, and it's going to reward fitness, technical skills to the top. It's going to be the complete rider that wins that stage.
What a way to mark our return to the USA. The first of 2 weeks of back-to-back racing here on the East Coast. Don't forget you can follow everything from EWS Burke right on our YouTube channel as well as on our social media channels. Subscribe to those. Make sure you don't miss 1 minute. We'll see you then.
Section here.